absolutely glorious here. We've been kind of joking that in future we're going to come down to Cardiff for a summer holiday so that we can get suntan.
Well, make a note of the date. We'll see if it happens again next year, because being a Cardiff boy born and bred, I'm making the most of this as well myself. It doesn't happen often, Mel, I'll give you that.
Oh well, I'm from Edinburgh. It doesn't happen often up there either.
So Chile for England. What's the plan for you next today?
I've just got some guests coming. You know, a lot of people who supported us or who like to support us, and kind of so I'm, you know, hosting them and, you know, talking them through how this all works and what's going on here, and doing a lot of media as well at the moment, which is really good actually, because the media, you know, it's important we get our message out there in terms of what we're doing, and the media down here has been fabulous, and they you know, some good stories, and they ask good questions.
A great piece in the Guardian today as well, which is available online.
Yeah, I saw that. Really good bits. He came down and interviewed some of the players and myself and Michael and so on, and you know, it's a very constructive, positive piece, you know, and so we need that. So I'm always happy to speak to anyone who wants to speak to me about it.
Yeah, great stuff. I'm sure everyone appreciates your time as well. But social media's been key in this one as well. I mean, the inspirational stories have been out weeks beforehand, kind of getting everyone ready for it. And you know, for somebody who's kind of know they were going to be involved, you know what it's all about from the off through social media, and that form of marketing is really important as well.
Oh yeah, the social media is for anything these days. I think it's really important. And the beauty is once you get on top of it and work out, you know, how to use the hashtags and the signs and all that sort of stuff. And people can just connect. So what we're doing is these feeds about what's going on, and people are responding by retweeting them, and massive numbers of retweets. So I mean, we're really pleased with it. It's phenomenal. And again, it's a bit like, you know, we were saying earlier, you were talking about the number of people who are viewing. I mean, the number of people that are retweeting or passing on our social media is incredible, and it just shows the level of interest.
So Mel, can you stay for this one, or do you have to go? It's no problem either way. So I can say fond farewell if you do have to
looking
go.
Around. I'll if you'll have me, I'll stay for this one and then head off after that.
Fantastic stuff. So this is another quarter-final in the Homeless World Cup on the ladies' side of the thing. Chile versus England. This will be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Two very different styles of play, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Once again, I think, you know, you've got the South Americans, the Chileans. You know, they're very good, and England will, you know, I'm sure they'll do their best and so on, and try and get a couple of goals. But I can't see England getting the better of Chile in this game.
So there's a tip from the top. A Scotsman betting against England.
Well, I'm because I'm the president of the Homeless World Cup, I'm totally neutral. So I love them all.
Love them all, yeah. More the merrier.
Even England. I did a little in early on. It doesn't happen anymore, but in Scotland, when we played in Scotland, the first time I went on the microphone and said, right, England are coming on. I do not want anybody to boo, because these are homeless guys, and you know, normally you get booed if you can. England playing in a professional game, nobody booed. And I said that's the first time English football teams come to Scotland and nobody's booed.
Yeah.
There you go. First again in the Homeless World Cup.
Well, when I go to Scotland, the first question I get from a taxi driver is, are you English or Welsh? They want that clarification straight away. Here we go. Chile versus England. It's a big deal, this. It's a quarter-final of the Homeless World Cup. And we enjoyed Chile on pitch one yesterday. They're a fine team. So explain tomorrow, as we get to the final stages of the day, Mel, and of the tournament, how will things pan out? How will it work tomorrow?
Well, what you have is in the men's and women's competitions, everybody's finding their own level. So in the men's competition, there's 6 cups, 6 levels. So the better teams are in the top section, and the not so good ones in the bottom section. And what you've got today is the quarterfinals and semi-finals in each. So in each of these cups, in the men's, there's 8. Tomorrow they'll be playing 7th and 8th position, 5th and 6th third and fourth, and so on, and then one and two. So we'll start in the morning with the lower cup, okay, the sixth place cup, and then it'll work right up to the final, which will be the Holmesville Cup final, which we don't know that routine. And the same applies to the women, although they don't have they've only got 16 teams. So you'll end up at the end of the day with 2 cup finals, men's and women's, at that top level. But all during the day, the teams will come out to the national anthems. They'll play, and you watch how thrilled they are. Win or lose tomorrow, they all get presented with the same medal throughout. So it's, as you know, it's very competitive but inclusive, and the same medal, and then the teams get different plates, and you'll be blown away by them. It's really moving, and some of the games are fantastic, but it's kind of afterwards in the presentations that it's very special.
A very special moment. I look forward to that tomorrow. As Mel mentioned earlier, keep that medal for life, won't they?
Yep. Oh, sure. There's a lovely picture we had from the first event where there's a picture of one of the players in in the evening after the final, and he's lying on his bed, and he's tied the medal up on his bedpost, and he's just looking at the medal like a dog looking at the food or something, you know, waiting to eat it or something. It's a lovely picture, just captured, and he's like, the eyes are showing love for this medal that's hanging on his bedpost. Yeah,
fantastic photograph. It captures the moment.
Yeah.
And Chile 1-0 up. England claimed to have scored a goal. They thought the ball had crossed the line a few moments before Chile scored.
Yeah, it looked like from here, from the camera, if that had gone in actually. But of course, what we've got, you know, with we've got some very good referees, and they're right on the line, so they can see. I was joking with them the other day that there'll never be VAR at the Holmesville Cups because the referees are so good.
Too slow VAR anyway.
Yeah, it would slow our game right down.
Yeah.
You're right.
This format of football, you need a pacey decision, because that's exactly what happens on the pitch. Superb format, which really works and encourages goal, and that's the second goal for Chile. 2-0 up against the English. And you do sense, Mel, straight away that England needed that first goal.
Yeah.
Needed to score first.
Yeah. They you know, if you're going to stay with these guys, that's what you need. You just need a bit of luck, or a bit of, you know, talented performance. That was a good, you know, in some senses, if it was a goal, it was very unlucky because it was a very good shot. It was good. You see the way they worked that. You know, they just waited for the opening.
Keep it so simple, don't they?
Yeah.
And then the second the opening comes, they pounce upon it. Be it with
but that's good tackle there by the English player there. That was good. That, you know, and then that's not so good.
Here's a counter attack down the other way.
Oh no, good save.
Great feet there though.
Great feet, but she's just a bit too confident.
And what's nice to see, I know there's a fair play award and it was given for a similar reason, but other teams helping other teams in warm-ups, coaching each other. There was 2 goalkeepers coaching each other on day 3, I think.
Yeah.
That would never happen on any other level of football, would it?
No, absolutely not. So that's what it's just a great kind of family atmosphere here. As you know, the teams are competitive when they're on the pitch, but they're very, very sharing and supportive of one another. So you can see if a player gets injured, and there's been 1 or 2 injuries in the previous game there, one of the players got hit in the face, and you see the other players from the other team rushing up and helping her, you know, and then the goalkeeper got penalised and they've got awarded a penalty, and they basically wouldn't take it because you know, they thought it was unfair. I mean, that's fabulous. That, you know, really is.
A nice moment between Wales and SFU, that one was.
Yeah. And
Chile have just scored a penalty. They're now 4-0 up. And Chile, definitely contenders.
See the way what they do, because we've got, you know, the issue with the 3-on-2. You see how quickly Chile got the ball there from the defence to attack, so they had the 3-on-2, so they have the advantage. And that's a very important part of the phase, because they can work the ball as they're doing now and just kind of think about it, and they're crossing the ball there, and then they just hold possession.
Did you seek any professional football advice upon the rules, or was it just kind of brainstorming with each other? No, this is kind of with the idea we came up with at the beginning for Graz, and came up with these street soccer ideas, and you know, it's a hybrid of all sorts of different things, a bit of, you know, the rolling substitutes, a bit of basketball, banging off the edge, and ice hockey, and all this sort of stuff, and then of course football itself.
So, you know, we came up with that. But then we always have the rules under scrutiny. So, as I was saying earlier, you know, it used to be that we didn't have this rule where we had the one player in the offensive half. So what happened is the teams could, not all did, but they just score and then surround the box. So you've got big guys, like big goalie, you just couldn't get the ball through. So the other team might have possession, you just couldn't score. So we're always looking at the rules, and we changed that, and that made a huge difference. Just huge difference, because it meant, you know, it really encouraged attacking football, which is what we want. You see lots of goals going in. You can't really defend in this way. I mean, it doesn't work. So you've got to attack.
There's the Chilean men enjoying it. Cardiff City men were down here as well one day this week, and as someone who works for the football club from time to time, it's good. Nice feedback from them as well. Yeah, I think that's a really nice touch. You know, I mean, it's the beginning of the season. They're probably hard at training and got lots to think about in terms of their games coming up and so on. So, you know, the fact that they just spend a bit of time just come down here means a heck of a lot to these players. I mean, even if they're not Welsh players, obviously, but even if they're not from Wales, just, you know, Cardiff City's now, it's the Premier League's a kind of brand all over the world. So, yeah. You know, Cardiff City will be known, you know. Potentially, Mel, a big crowd expected tomorrow because it's the weekend and final day, but also there's a huge football match in the stadium itself.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of football fans will filter this way because it's so close to the main stadium.
I think that's true in the way the timings of this work out as well. They could probably come down before the game and take this in, you know. I think my advice would be to anybody tomorrow who wanted to come down early, because I think there's going to be a lot of people here, which is going to be fabulous, and it'll create a great atmosphere. So
yeah, like in the golf competitions, they get their seat early and they stay there in the same seat.
Yep, they put the towel down.
Yeah. So it's half time then. Chile in control in this one against the English. And England are ready on the pitch, so Chile will have to make their way on. It's a minute they get for half time.
A minute, yeah.
So everything about the rules, encouraging fast play, attacking play.
Yeah, we just like to keep the ball in. You can see it, so, you know, I always kind of say everyone's got an important role here. So the ball boys and girls, getting the ball back in as soon as it goes out of play is really important as well. So you know, it just seems the ball's never. It's always in play. That's very important as well.
As we've got you for this second half, Mel, what are the plans for the future then? How do you keep moving things forward for the Homeless World Cup?
Well, we will announce on tomorrow where it's going to be held next year. We're changing our strategy slightly, because normally we announce a year ahead, and we're going to start from next year doing it 4 years ahead. So that's part of our planning, so that's quite exciting. We'll be moving it around the world. I think that what we want to do is just provide more support to more countries who want to participate. So, you know, we've you know, been approached by a number of African countries who want to join. So we'll be working with them, hopefully bringing them to next year's events, or some of them, building the street soccer programs. So we'll just keep building the organisation going forward. Anywhere there's homelessness, anywhere people want to do this, we'll be there encouraging them, for the simple reason that it works. So because it works, we just do more of it until we don't exist anymore. So you know, next year, important year for us, but then every year is important. And to me, it's always a kind of imperative, because I think there's no time to waste here, because, you know, my experience, you know, in the bad days, you know, homeless people die. I mean, that's what's happening. They die on the streets, and they die now. So we can't hang around, you know. There's an imperative on us to work hard, get things done, and get on with stuff. So that's what drives us. Yeah,
and it definitely changes lives. I've met Lisa Wainwright, was it, from the US?
Yeah, Wrightsman.
Sorry, that's it.
Yeah.
She was an individual who found herself homeless, in jail, and now she's completely changed her life around. Incredible story.
Absolutely. But she's a fabulous story to tell, but also she's really articulate in terms of, you know, the whole bit of just explaining and getting you to understand where she was and how she was feeling, and then the transformation that took place and how she feels now. And No, she's a fantastic advocate on our behalf. But there's a lot of them. There's a lot of Lisas around who tell that story, and it's just about how football, or soccer as she calls it, has changed people, changed their lives, you know.
Yeah, Natalie Handley, who's now a referee in this year's Football World Cup, was another former player, and now going to ref 11-a-side football this calendar season.
That's right. I mean, there she is. You never know where where she might end up, or anybody, or Lisa for that matter, because Natalie could be, you never know, refereeing the FIFA World Cup final one day. You never know.
Well, I told her yesterday, I'll see you next time in the Champions League final.
Well, there you go.
I said, aim big, and why not?
And why not? I mean, she's a really good referee. She's got a really good temperament, that's what we all should be doing in life: is aiming high. If not for refereeing, then playing football or playing rugby or driving a bus or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
And is that another side you're looking to grow, the female side of it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we when we started, we didn't have female competition. It was only male, because we were the issue for us was about young men and moving them off the street, because they football was about the only thing that they were paying any attention to. And then we introduced the women's game, and it's been a huge success. The number of women's teams have got involved. So it's
slightly more complex with the women's side of it, with recruitment wise, do you think, because if they've got children and stuff like that?
Yeah. It's more. It's a young man on the street, is one thing. A young woman in the street with the children is another. It's another dynamic to it. So there are differences. But again, I think there's a bit of a kind of where the culture of the football is. So that what you find in the South Americans is homeless man and woman, but they all play football anyway. So whereas you have a homeless man and woman in England, say, since we're watching England, there's not so much of a culture of English women's football, so there's not so many of them play. So it's getting those numbers is a critical thing. But this England are doing well here.
Yeah, they nearly got one back there, didn't they?
Yeah, it's not a complete 6-1 in our street soccer is not huge difference, to be honest. So England are doing really well.
And the home Welsh crowd, I think, is supporting England right now, and they'd like to see another goal from the English. And we've got 2 minutes left in this game. Chile comfortable. I think we can say they're going to find their way through to the next round, but
yeah, I think so.
it'd be nice to see England claw one back, wouldn't it?
Yeah. We always. I think the crowd, all of us. I mean, without we're not biased in that, but we always want to see the losing team, particularly when it's this level, get a goal. So
yeah. It's all about the underdog, isn't it?
Yeah. So here I'll go. I'll be a Scotsman. I'll say, come on, England. You heard it.
There's an exclusive. There's the first. All the comments underneath our Facebook and YouTube pages, I think they'll be applauding you as the home crowd here applauds Chile's 7th goal. 7-1.
I'll just deny I said that. I'm sorry.
And I'm not sure if you can hear at home or wherever you're listening from right now, but the South African men are singing in the background, which tends to be their preparation for a game.
Yeah. They've done really well this year. They're in that top group. They've played really well. We've never had an African team win the Homeless World Cup. So, there's a possibility with them. They could get right through. I mean, yesterday I watched them. They played really well. So they've got to be one of the favourites.
Yeah, they can play football, but they got physical when they needed to yesterday, South Africa, so they can mix it. They're just not one dynamic.
They can mix it and they can sing.
Indeed they can. And here in Wales we love a sing song. It'll be fantastic tomorrow. It'll be pretty special tomorrow as well, I think, Mel, when the anthems are played as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The anthems are just the way the players sing them and respect them. It's really quite moving, actually. I find that bit of it, because they're just so proud to be representing their country. And you and I and others maybe sitting watching maybe could say, right, well, we understand why they might not be so interested in singing the national anthem, given maybe the way their country's treated them, but they don't care. They they're so proud of what they're doing, and it's
that thought crossed my mind the other day actually, but they're very proud, and it'll be a special moment tomorrow as this game on pitch 1 concludes. The final score, Chile convincing in victory, 7-1, and they move on to the next stage. They'll have their eyes on the Mexicans, that's for sure. Mel, thank you so much once again for your time here in the gantry.
Thank you very much.
Wish you all the best for the rest of the day, and thank you once again for everything you're doing. You're changing people's perceptions across the UK and across the world, and it's fantastic to see.
No, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure always talking to you, and you know, thanks for continuing on with this. And I'm glad so many people are listening to you. It's important. So glad to chat. No problem.
Good stuff. Mel, enjoy the rest of your day.
See you now.
And enjoy your day tomorrow as well. Mel Young there, the president of the Homeless World Cup. He started it all, and he's still a key figure every single step of the way. As we enjoy the goals from Chile, they definitely know their way to the back of the net. They will be there, or thereabouts anyway, as we enter the finals day tomorrow. England did get one back. That'll frustrate the goalkeeper, but the game was over by then. And what a game that was. Very entertaining once again, as all these games are. And England will be proud of that one. 7-1, as Mel said. It's quite respectable in street soccer. So we're going to make our way to a game on pitch 2 now. We're going to leave pitch 1 for a while, and we're going to join Callum Patterson in the men's Glendur Cup. And it's Italy versus Indonesia.